Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Habitual. I'm your host, Haley, and I am so happy to have you back for another week of Habitual. Woo! I think this is our week, ninth episode, ninth week doing this. And I just want to say a quick thank you to anyone who is consistently listening because it genuinely means the world to me. And your support doesn't go unnoticed, and I feel it, and I love you more for it. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much. And this has been such an amazing, fun, exciting journey to be on, and it's crazy to think that this is really only the beginning. I think I want to do daily delights at the end of the episode today because I just really want to get into today's topic. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. It has just been on my mind, and that is the concept of discipline. Self-discipline. Not, sorry, let's clarify that. Not discipline as an entire idea and construct, but self-discipline specifically. I have been on my own personal journey with self-discipline. Kind of. Okay. Let's do some thinking. I have definitely been on a journey of cultivating a relationship with self-discipline for probably the past 4 years, a little bit longer, but like it got serious like 4 years ago, which is when I graduated college, which, yes, I should have been also cultivating self-discipline while I was in college and getting a degree. However, I just wasn't really, at all, to be honest. I mean, I had discipline in the sense of like, I would eat food and I would feed myself and I would be good about drinking water and I would do my homework when it was due. That was like kind of the extent, honestly, of my self-discipline. Once the wonderful world of living on your own at 18 years old and being able to make every decision for yourself at that age, and obviously older, through the 4 years. But yes, I personally did not have a relationship with self-discipline, nor did I really want one, to be honest. Looking back, I definitely would have maybe done things a little bit differently, but also at the same time, I made some of the most amazing, wonderful, lifelong friendships that I know that I will have in my life forever. And that was really kind of my main takeaway from college. Also, obviously my degree, which is great. But anyways, we're getting off track. I just didn't really have self-discipline as an adult. I didn't have any interest in it. I didn't do anything that was hard to do besides literally my homework because I had to. And I did not prioritize like really eating well. I didn't prioritize taking care of my body. I didn't prioritize exercise. I didn't prioritize my mental health. I didn't prioritize doing anything uncomfortable. I didn't do pretty much anything uncomfortable. To be fucking honest with you, the most uncomfortable shit that I was doing, this is crazy to even like say out loud because it's just a complete 180 from my life right now. But the most uncomfortable things that I was doing in college was like making myself go out to a day party and drink when I was severely hungover already. Like, I'm being so fucking honest. That was probably the most uncomfortable situations that I was putting myself in for like 4 years. We've got to have love and respect and compassion and sympathy for the past versions of ourselves because without them, we wouldn't have the current versions of ourselves. But wow, it's definitely a little hard to look back at and say all of that out loud. Yeah. But once I graduated and I was flung into the real world, and like I've talked about in my first episode, like I really had I was really struggling with my mental health. I was really in like the just lowest of the low, felt like mental rock bottom. I knew things had to change, and it has really been this non-linear journey from that point now and continuing on. I'm not saying that this is something that's like a quick thing at all. This is just I just wanted to share my experience with discipline because I feel like it's been almost exactly 4 years since I graduated, but that's not even, it took me a few months to even get to this point of wanting to do this or even realizing that this was something that I lacked in my life. I feel like I just now am getting to a point where I have it under control and I have made it not only a habit, but something that I love. Like it's part of my value system now, very high on my value system. Like it's part of like my moral compass and like my guidelines for how I want to live my life. And I've just really been reflecting on the last couple of years and my experience with it. And I just like keep coming back to the fact that it has changed my fucking life, honestly. Honestly, because okay. So, the definition of self-discipline is the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. The ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. First of all, let's give some appreciation, because what a banger of a definition. Are you kidding me? Wow. It's just like, it's like a juicy definition. I really enjoyed that. That like really encompasses everything. Similar words are self-control, self-mastery, control, self-restraint. So that's just something to consider and think about as we continue on this conversation topic. And I just feel like it's a hard thing when you realize that you don't have any discipline in your life, and that you don't have self-discipline, and that you not only don't have self-discipline, but you don't have the ability to have self-discipline. It's not like I was just like, oh, I need self-discipline, I'm gonna like no, 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 no. This was like something that I've had to hone and sharpen and work on for so fucking long. I mean, it's been years of this entire journey that I've been on, but like, oh my God. I genuinely like feel like just like right now, like even like at this like exact moment in my life, I'm finally like, holy shit, I'm really self-disciplined. And I feel it's like seeing colors for the first time or something. It just feels like this secret, this like secret hack. This is just the key. I feel like this is the key to everything. Like having your dream life, having everything that you want, shit done, being an efficient adult. Like you just have to have self-discipline. And we can just keep going back to the definition, like, oh, the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. That is not an easy thing to do. Like that's not yeah, let me just start implementing control over my feelings and start overcoming my weaknesses. Like, no, but the reward of working on and honing self-discipline is just like, it's huge. It comes in every area of your life, and it just like, we're firing on all cylinders. In a well-oiled machine that is just like fucking efficient and pumping shit out and doing it in a way that is sustainable for growth, sustainable with rest. Like, all of these things come into play when you really work on having self-discipline. And so for me, what that has really looked like is I feel like it started with building an exercise routine again, because that was something like without that, my days genuinely before that were filled with sometimes creative things, but for the most part, it was go to work, get off work, go home, make dinner, read a book or watch a show, and then go to bed and then do it again and again and again and again. And that was what my life was for like a year before I started implementing a regular exercise routine. And that is like, I think working out and having an exercise routine is probably the first step for like most people. And also the key word here is being consistent with it. Having a workout routine that you are consistent with, that it's like a gateway drug to self-discipline, because if you're doing that, you have to build self-discipline, you have to build resiliency, you are controlling your feelings and overcoming your weaknesses. Every time that you're like, fuck, I just worked 8 hours and I don't want to go to the gym, but it's Tuesday and I go to the gym on Tuesdays, so I'm gonna go. And like the second half of that definition is the ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. I know that going to the gym is right for my body, for my brain, for my health, for my well-being, for my sleep tonight, for my energy levels tomorrow. Like, I know that that is right. And so but the ability to do that despite the temptations to abandon it, like, oh, but my couch, oh, but I want to watch that show, or oh my gosh, like I'm just tired and I don't want to go. Like, it doesn't even have to be anything like that. But so the ability to create a workout routine and then to genuinely stick to it and be consistent with it despite temptations to abandon it, you are like, I feel like that is the easiest, like, one track way, gateway drug to having a very distinct ability and relationship with self-discipline. Because it's also, again, self-discipline is like, it's a mental construct, right? Like, this is like this thing that we are battling with and trying to implement into our brains. But when you also pair it with a workout routine and exercising your body, then it becomes both, right? It takes it from this mental concept and puts it also into a physical action. So it intertwines those two things and then can become this like, okay, even though my brain is telling me that I am feeling out of it and I just don't want to go to the gym today and my body feels so like exhausted, and then you still pursue what you think is right despite your temptation to abandon it, and you still go to the gym, and almost every single time my brain feels so much better, my body feels so much better, I have energy again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I just did that. Like, and so you're not just training your brain to do the hard thing and do the uncomfortable thing, you're also training your body to do that too. And those in tandem, holy fuck. I feel like that's why it's like so effective. The most effective way to like really push forward this, like, your self-discipline. And I mean, and this is not like, also, hey, I'm not saying you need to go to the fucking gym like 5 days a week for like 3 hours. Like, no, no, no. Like, this concept, this can be done in like little increments. Like, this could be whether yeah, I mean, hey, if you're going to the gym 5 days a week for 3 hours, well, hey, you might have an issue, but that's not for me to say, right? But it could also be just making yourself go for those 30 minutes. Like, I'm going to go for 30 minutes on these like 3 days a week. And even if don't do the entire circuit or you don't whatever, like you're going and you're training yourself and then it's like, and then you take that next step to then, okay, and then I'm going to do the full circuit every single time. And then I'm going to do the full circuit every time and I'm going to do a little bit of cardio. And then I'm going to do the full circuit and like, like you're building this resiliency and discipline continuously each time you choose discomfort over comfort. Every single time, it's another brick in the wall of building your self-discipline, and you're honing your ability to control your feelings and overcome your weaknesses. You're doing what you think is right despite temptations to abandon it. And you are building up your ability to do all of those things every single time you lean into the discomfort. And this has like blown my freaking brain in my life, like wide open. Like I can't even begin to explain how much in my life has changed, how much in my mental health has changed, how much like energy like it is life changing. And then it seeps into every other area of your life, and you can like having self-discipline also, like for me, it's not just like that is an example, and that was my kind of like honestly like gateway drug into this entire journey. But on top of that, to me, self-discipline also looks like eating whole foods, not like from Whole Foods, like eating like whole foods and like not eating processed foods and not eating processed sugar, even though it's convenient and cheaper and easier. Like, no, I have the self-discipline to fuel my body with good foods. And because I also know that it makes me feel better, and that also makes my body feel better. And I like choosing, right? Again, knowing, like, I know what I know is right for myself. I'm not saying this is right for everyone. I'm saying I know what's right for me. The ability to continue to do what I know is right for me, despite the temptations to abandon it. Despite the, oh, but like, I could just get these snacks or these chips or these whatever. There's always going to be these temptations. And it's so empowering to build up that resiliency and watch yourself get to a point where all of these things that used to be like temptations to you just aren't anymore. They just they just aren't. Like, it used to be an active thing that when I would go to the grocery store, I was trying not to buy all of these like processed snacks and all of these like sugary treats and blah 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 blah. Now, like, it's just I don't even think about it. Like, genuinely, because I have built up my resiliency in this, and I have worked on my self-discipline so much that it has become habitual. Like, it is a habit for me to eat well. It is part of my day. It is something that I do, just like working out and exercising is habitual for me. It's just what I do. It's what I love to do. It's how I love to spend my time and take care of myself. And it's not I mean, obviously there's still days where it's like not usually the first thing that I want to do, but I just overcome it because every time I overcome it, I'm always rewarded. Almost always. I would say 99% of the time, I feel so fucking good after working out that always the reward is always worth that, like, what, 5 minutes of like, God, I don't want to do it. And then it's so easy in those moments to be like, okay, never mind. I'm just not going to, or like, I'm just going to go home. Like that, in the definition, like that is also like your weakness, and you are abandoning what you think is right due to a temptation. And like, not to be harsh, but like, who wants to be a weak person? You know what I mean? Like, don't you want to have like that strength? And this is nothing to do with physical strength. I'm talking about that mental strength. Like, don't you want to have that ability and strength to like look at that and be like, no, I know what's right. I know what's best for me. And I'm going to fucking do it anyways. Like, yeah, it might be hard, but I can do hard things. It is the biggest confidence booster ever. And it has shaped and uplifted and expanded my self concept and my self identity and how I view myself in the best way possible. I genuinely think of myself as such a fucking badass. Because I proved to myself like pretty much every day I can do hard things. And it started with, yeah, me just telling myself like I can do hard things and like trying to build this like, like I mentioned before, this like brick by brick by brick, building up this wall of self-discipline that it just encompasses your habits. And when you're building that brick wall, it is like every time I was like, you know what? Like I can do hard things. I can do this. I can do hard things. I can do this. Now I'm at the point in my wall building that I can do hard things and I can do hard things really well. Like I'm good at doing hard things and I like to do hard things because I like to prove to myself that I can do them and that I can do them well. And it becomes addicting. It becomes addicting. It has brought so much to my life and genuinely changed. Okay. I'm getting emotional. I've had an emotional week. But as someone who a few years ago couldn't even see anything clear about my future and couldn't even really see a future to begin with, I'm so proud of myself. And I just can't, like hit home enough, like drive home enough the fact that so much of it, almost all of it comes down to my relationship with self-discipline and to my relentless pursuit of making self-discipline habitual and making these areas of my life in which I can have self-discipline habitual. I just want to like literally, I just want to share it with the world because it feels like finding the secret ingredient to life. And I know so many people probably are like, yeah, like I've never struggled with having self-discipline before. And I wish so much that that was me. And I wish that had, I don't know. I don't wish that I had anything different because I love my life the way it is and I value every single part of my journey. But to be almost 26 years old and feel like I finally have like a grip on the power of self-discipline and the value of doing the uncomfortable and putting myself in discomfort in the name of growth and health and wellness and all of these things. I feel like I am finally like standing on solid ground. I'm very grateful for my experience with this and to continue experiencing this. And I'm not saying by any means that I am like mastered self-discipline, but like, oh my God, I am just obs- I'm obsessed with it. Okay. And actually, here's another point that I really wanted to not forget to talk about. So before it just popped into my head. So before I continue on and I don't say it, I'm just going to talk about it. Self-discipline is not to be confused with drive or lack of compassion or lack of sympathy or lack of rest. Okay. Self-discipline right? We can go back to the definition: the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses, the ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. That also is not just applied to your goals and to getting shit done or feeling productive. That also, just as importantly, if not potentially more importantly, also means having self discipline when it comes to rest and having compassion and kindness for yourself and being able to sit and feel your body and listen to what is right for you. And again, being able to pursue what is right for you despite temptation to abandon it. So sometimes that means doing what you know is right for you despite your temptation to be more productive or to do that one last thing or to push yourself to go to that social interaction or that social gathering that you just absolutely do not have the energy for. That is a huge part of self-discipline. And that is also, I have struggled so much with finding the balance in that. And I still do, because it's hard to not feel caught up in the dopamine rush of completing a task and being productive. It's very easy to be like, oh, but it just feels so good to like get all these things done. I'm sure that like, even working out, like, yes, you should be able to overcome your weaknesses and despite your temptations to abandon what you think is right. That can look like, oh, I'm just kind of like out of it from work, and so I'm not going to go to the gym. That is not self-discipline on this hand. That is not self-discipline. On this hand, I am feeling like I'm getting sick. I only slept 5 hours last night. I forgot my lunch and I didn't have food and my body is feeling depleted. I don't think that I should go to the gym today, even though it's one of my gym days. That is self-discipline. Doing what you know is right, pursuing what you know is right, despite your temptations to abandon it. You know that your body needs rest. You know that if all of those things are true, then you probably should not push your body and you do need sleep and rest and time to rejuvenate. Finding that line is so fucking hard, but also becomes so much easier the more you are aware of it. The more you are aware of this fine balancing line, the more you can understand and listen to your body and listen to your intuition and know when it is telling you one way or the other. And being able to listen to that is also self-discipline. Being able to listen to what your body is telling you is right, despite the temptations to abandon it. The reasons not to, or the like justifications of why you should, given the situation. It is imperative that in this journey of self-discipline and implementing it into your life, that you are able to have discernment on how rest and taking care of your body also plays its huge part in this whole thing, and having compassion for yourself and also for other people. And it's just a side that I feel like I haven't really heard people talk that much about, or when I have heard people talk about it, they talk about how self-discipline and then compassion are like opposites. But I just really disagree with that. And I feel like they are the same thing. And the ability to see the discernment is also part of having the ability to have self-discipline in general. I think that they really, like, you can't have one without the other. Otherwise, I just think it's unbalanced and it's becomes not productive anymore. So I just to give some actionable steps that I think will be helpful. And I'm honestly probably going to do this exact same thing once I finish, because I love stuff like this. I feel like writing out things that you're in your dream life and the dream version of yourself, like I always call it like the highest version of yourself. Like they are just fucking doing everything in life that you want to do. And they are the person that you're consistently and constantly striving for. That version of yourself, write out everything that they do, everything that they do in their day. You can write out everything that they do, why they are your highest self or that dream version, like what makes them that way. What are they doing? What are their habits? What is their life like? What is their day to day look like? And from there, you can really see, like, okay, now the path to this person, to being that person and embodying that, relies on self discipline and your ability to implement all of those things that they do every day into your life and to do them every day and to do them when it feels uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable, and to do them when you don't feel like it, and to do them when you really want to, you're just tempted to do something else or to just take a break or to whatever. Like slowly, and this is a very long process, but slowly and surely you will get there. You just need to be consistent and have the discipline, because no one is going to come and be like, this is what you need to do. Okay, reminder, like you wanted to practice yoga, but then every time that you have the opportunity to practice yoga, or you're not finding a studio that you're going to go to once a week, twice a week, however many times, like there's no one that's going to come in and be like, okay, now here's the time to do this. And I put it into your schedule for you. Like, no, that is you. That has to be you. You have to have that initiative and that motivation to apply yourself to the things that you want to do and that you want out of life. And the way that you get there is literally just honing and building up your self-discipline and adding brick by brick by brick by brick to that wall until it becomes a habit. And it literally will become a habit. Also, side note, before we wrap up, I posted on Instagram this week that I've been thinking about self-discipline and that it is the way that you become the person that you want to be, but also it is the sexiest thing that you can do. I'm serious. Doing the things that you said you were going to do, following through on the goals that you said that you wanted to accomplish, on being that person that you said that you want to be, on all of the promises that you made and following through on that, and being able to prioritize everything in your life according to all of those things is the fucking sexiest thing you can do. It's so fucking hot. If you're like, Haley, that doesn't really make sense. Someone who lacks self-discipline is not hot. That that's ugly. Like that's such ugly behavior. I don't give a shit if you look like a 10 out of 10 and you have great style. Like it doesn't fucking matter. If you don't have self-discipline, you're not attractive. You don't have any sort of like erotic energy about you whatsoever, because people who lack self-discipline are losers. I literally don't care if that's harsh. Sorry, I don't know if it's the Aries stellium that's going on, and all this like fire, passion, energy, but like I'm just saying, if you don't have self-discipline, and yes, I realize I'm 100% talking about myself in the past. Okay? Like, because like I've been there. It's not attractive. It's not cute to not have ambition. And ambition without action is that's not ambition. That's just wishful thinking, I think. There's probably a better word for that, but I'm serious. having self-discipline and doing the things that you said you were going to do, even when you just said that you were going to do them to yourself, that is the hottest thing that someone can do. That is the hottest thing that you can do. It makes you magnetic. It bolsters your confidence. It makes you into a magnetic, sexy ass person who has sexy ass energy. Because there's nothing more attractive than following through, than being able to be like, I don't know, I want to be a professional chef. Okay. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to practice every day. I'm going to get culinary classes. I'm going to apply to go to this school. And on top of all of these things that I'm doing to achieve my dream of being a chef, I'm also going to, be the type of person that I want to be. I'm going to be really great at maintaining my relationships. It's not just achieving the goal, because achieving the goal is never going to change your life. It's the process of achieving the goal that is life-changing, that changes you and forces you to be the person that does eventually achieve that goal, which is the goal, is being that person who can do that shit and to accomplish it. And the journey there, that's the most important part. Anyways, I could talk about this forever because it is just insane. And I've just been watching it unfold in my life. And I've never felt this good about myself. I've never felt this good about challenges, about being uncomfortable. Like, I am at a point in my life where I'm like, fucking, like, okay, past that one, let's take it to the next one. What else can I do? How can I do it better? How can I continue to climb this ladder and continue to push myself and prove to myself that I'm good at doing hard shit and that I like it? Because fuck, you literally feel invincible. Like, I feel like I could do like anything. Obviously not, but pretty close. Everything that I want to do, I genuinely feel like I am capable of doing every single thing that I want to do at this moment. All of the goals that I want to achieve, I just know that I can do them because I've just been consistent with my self-discipline. And I know that through my decision making and the way that I prioritize my time and the way that I do things, even when they do feel hard or even when I feel like I don't want to, it's just confirmation over and over again that like I can do it. And I not only can do it, but I enjoy doing it. And not only do I enjoy doing it, but I'm good at it. And it is just and I've never felt hotter. Oh my god, I'm kidding, but I'm not at all. Well, lots of hot takes in today's episode, so feeling a little fiery, a little feisty, and I hope you love it and you took something from it and that you feel inspired to continue on your self-discipline journey and keep adding those fucking bricks. Anyways. Oh, daily delights. Okay, well, my daily delight, it was talking about that because that was really, really fun. And I feel like I need a TED Talk. I feel like, what if I did slides? What if I made a presentation for every podcast episode and I was just presenting to you on giving you proof and stats on why I feel these things. No, I'm just joking. But anyways, my daily delight was talking about that. That was really fun and I enjoyed that. Thanks for listening. Another daily delight is, I cleaned my house. My house needed to be cleaned pretty bad and now it feels all nice and fresh, especially after this little rainstorm and now it's like all sunny again. Thank God. And then another daily delight of mine is that I get to watch Euphoria tonight. I'm so excited. Um, I can't wait. I have no idea what is in store for this season. So excited about that. As always, leave your daily delights in the comments below. If you also want, you can always send me a DM on Instagram, especially I made an Instagram for the show. It's at habitual pod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the things. So if you haven't already, go ahead and give them a follow and follow the show on Spotify. All the things, guys, all the things. And again, if you've been listening this whole time, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of your support and for being so wonderful and listening to me talk about the things that I love to talk about. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to have gratitude. Tell the universe what you're thankful for. Give me your daily delights. Do all the things. I love you so much, and I will see you next week.